Welcome to Rent-A-Friend Radio, where we use logic and reason in every season to maintain compliance with wisdom and science. I am your friend at a very reasonable hourly rate, Rent-A-Friend 2000, the man with a plan to bring the facts on stacks of wax, showering the nation with science education. And today we are answering your listener mail. Today we're going to respond to some of the dumber, unsubstantiated blanket assertions I've received recently. If you're allergic to dumb, you are going to need an Epi-Pen. The Science Foundation states, human embryos do in fact have both tails and pharyngeal pouches that correspond to gills in fish. Oh, well if you say that they do, then I guess I can ignore the information put out there by those stupid embryologists. Your word is good enough for me, Science Foundation. Oh, wait, no, it isn't. Is this what you do for fun? Because you aren't any good at it. Seriously, Science Foundation, you stop by and you leave all these comments, but you fail miserably to build a case for your position. You kind of suck at this. In all seriousness, you need to consider taking up a new hobby. Try golf or Jenga or knitting. When you stop by creationist videos and leave these dumb comments, you are doing far more to debunk evolution than anything else. Have you tried Minecraft? Maybe get yourself a spinner? Ugh. The Science Foundation never fails to disappoint. Here she blindly asserts the pretend fact from the land of make-believe science that human embryos have pharyngeal pouches that correspond to gills in fish. Or, as most people put it, human babies go through a stage where we have gill slits like a fish. Well, let's consider it carefully. Gill slits are slits, openings in the side of a fish. The pharyngeal pouch in the head of a developing baby is never an opening, thus, not a slit. Gills in a fish are used for respiration. They are how a fish breathes. Pharyngeal pouches in the developing human baby are never used for respiration. So, nothing like gills. They don't even develop into lungs or any other breathing organ. I said this in the video she's replying to, but let me say it again. If the baby's pharyngeal pouch isn't gills, and it isn't slits, then it isn't gill slits. I really can't make it any simpler than that. If you can't understand this level of science, then science is not for you. I can't help you. Just find a nice lump of Play-Doh and sit somewhere where you can't hurt anyone. In the corner. With your stuffed bear. A rollicking discussion developed among some of my listeners recently, and one of the commenters quoted one of the dumbest ideas in Western culture. In response to the scholar known as DHPD, Misspelled Robot said, he thought there was enough to write an essay called Nothing in Biology Makes Sense Except in the Light of Evolution. What's your rationale for dismissing his conclusion? Well, Robot spelled wrong, because it's stupid. Nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution. Only if you're a big idiot, but I should give examples. What makes a fish? Scales, fins, gills, swim bladder? Nope. Evolved from worms. Now I get it! How many chambers does the human heart have? We can't possibly know unless we know what three-chambered heart-having animal we evolved from. We can't count to 4 without Darwin! Is an oak a gymnosperm or an amphibian? There's no way to know unless we bow at the altar of Chuck D. Do you hear what I am saying? The truth is, everything in biology makes sense without any regard to evolution. Everything in modern medicine works just fine with no regard to evolution. Medicines still work. Surgeries still work. Good nutrition still works. We can discover, describe, feed, follow, and breed animals with no acceptance or single thought to evolution. We can examine the interior, exterior, and behavior of every living thing on Earth without for one moment accepting a single stupid tenet of Darwinian evolution. In fact, all of biology makes more sense when you accept biblical creation because it explains and predicts everything we see, including the complexity of the cell and the vast amounts of information in DNA. Darwin has to boggle at that because it offers no explanation for it. So I am putting this phrase, nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution, right up there with this phrase, to reject evolution is to reject all of modern science, as the stupidest things ever said by modern man. These are the least intelligent, least scientific statements ever passed along by roach clowns. If you have ever unironically said either of these things, you are a moron and I pity you. With that in mind, let me thank all of the commenters who are polite, kind, and complimentary. Let me also thank the commenters who disagree, but actually make a rational attempt to make some sense, build a case, and rise above the roach clowns. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. This is your Rent-A-Friend saying thanks for listening to Rent-A-Friend Radio. Don't wait for fate, there's no debate. I'm your friend at a very reasonable hourly rate. You dudes and dearies, send me your queries and I'll holler back Jack with answers and facts. I'll see you again. I hate this to end, but thanks for letting me be your Rent-A-Friend.